Well, congratulations on making a beautiful combination of a ski movie and also a personal story. Did this come out of like you coming to a point in your life of wanting to deal with the grief?
I mean, absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. It was quite a ways into the project when I decided to even do it. It wasn't until March, I don't think, until I decided to do this. And Liam was brand new on my team. And let's give a round of applause to Liam. This is, honestly, it's really crappy POV footage of a guy talking to the camera. And he made a movie out of that. And so I really appreciate what he did there. And I had never met him until like a week ago. So in person. So he did all of this completely remote. So it was really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks, Liam.
So what happened in your life? I mean, did you always very openly deal with the grief and talk about it, or was it? I mean, because like the thing. First of all, let's thank your brother and mother for bringing the lights back on.
Yes, yeah. Thank you to both of them. Well, this is actually something I wanted to do in my head, so I started to take over. Raise your hand if you've lost someone that you love and care about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like pretty much everybody, I'd say, and so we all deal with it in different ways. And so this was just a way that I found that would help me. And the reality is, when I lost my brother, I didn't even talk about him for a while. People would ask me, how many siblings did you have? And I wouldn't include him in that number. And then I realized how wrong that was. I was like erasing this person in a way. And so I started bringing him back and talking about him more. And you know, that happened in '98. And really only a few years ago, I realized my experience with him and my experience with losing him and being there with him as he moved on was a gift. And that was really a powerful feeling, and I'm getting pinpricks just saying it right now. And then when my mom passed, I had a little bit more understanding of how to work through grief. And it was really weird that the Eastern Sierra was how I worked through it with my brother. It happened to be summer at the time, and I was still learning mountains. And then with my mom, it was the Eastern Sierra again. I was here for almost 3 months, for May, June, and July, and really, really helped me. So I don't think I'm answering your question well. But I'm sharing.
Yeah. I mean, I was just wondering, like, was it a maturity thing that made you be able to communicate and talk about it, or be able to process it, or was it just do you think it was the mountains and the nature that brought it out of you?
The worst answer is all of them, right? Yeah. It's like, or it depends. A lot of people like to say, but I really do think. I guess what I was getting at is my experience with my brother gave me some understanding of how to work through this. And so when I came through this experience with my mother, I realized, gosh, it'd be really nice. And my mom was so stubborn. I mean, we've all had people with cancer too. She survived 3 cancers, and the 4th one got her, and the 4th one was because of the chemotherapy, right? Like the myelodysplasia is something you get because of toxic chemicals. Yeah. So it's just like brutal, and I really needed something. And to be honest, I wasn't done. When the movie ended, I didn't feel whole yet, and not that any of this makes you feel whole, but I needed more time. I ended up skiing 543 days in 2 years. Wow. So I kind of just stayed on the program. And so it was weird. Even Liam was like, "This is getting weird, dude." Yeah. We need to take a break.
Liam, why don't you talk about directing a film and editing a film with not knowing the person that you're... I mean, I think it actually is a better way to do it, because then you're not influencing the storytelling.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think when Miles first brought up the idea, he brought it up as just, let's make a movie about skiing 300 days, because that's impressive in and of itself. But to me, I wanted to make a film that was kind of more than just that, because that's really impressive and everything, of course. I mean, I could never do that, but I'm like, no one just skis 300 days without a reason behind it. And so that wasn't something I was aware of when we kind of started the filmmaking process. And so it was, because I'd never met him in person, we talked hours and hours and hours on the phone, and I feel like I learned everything about his life from the other side of the country. And then I discovered all these layers, and that's when I was like, this is an interesting story because of why you're doing all of this. And I said, the 300 days is interesting, but the real interesting part of the story is actually why you're doing it and all the backstory behind it and how you've done this more than once and how you've dealt with grief. And so that's what I thought was really interesting. And in terms of making the film and not meeting him, it was kind of more like to me it felt more like it was like a found footage documentary. Mm-hmm. Because again, I only we only decided to make a film out of this experience when he was like 75% done skiing 300 days. So a lot of it was just videos he'd already recorded. So it's like, how can we get all this footage and put the pieces together to tell a story without him just sitting down in an interview telling us directly. So that was definitely a really big challenge for editing. But I loved the challenge, and I think it worked out.
Yeah, definitely did. Do you have any questions? Sorry, go ahead.
So I just lost my mom, and trying to travel through time and space as much as possible.
Mom was a big deal.
Every
My mom always
day.
said, you know who your mom was. Your dad could be anybody. Sorry.
So a lot of us simply moms who come from around the country to the mill and all live there for May, just like you come here every May, I think are here for some ski therapy. And I don't know if you saw Drew Peterson's film last year.
I haven't, but I know Drew has some really powerful messages.
Anyway, at the end of the ski season, a lot of people get really depressed if you're a ski addict. And I wonder if a little bit of like what Drew would have, these like seasonal depressions, you were trying to avoid by not having any like pain in your life, by being able to continue to stoke through the year, or maybe even the 500 or whatever it is.
I mean, absolutely, and there's no question behind that. When I was younger and I didn't ski in the summertime, which I have done 15 seasons in Patagonia now, I would hate the Kentucky Derby. I would be pissed off at the Masters golf tournament. It was like, God damn it, it's the end of the season. It would piss me off. And since 2008, I've been skiing year round, and it fixed that. But it's exactly what you're saying, because I totally had seasonal depression. And I would be really upset at the end of the season. And that's often why I think this is my 17th Mammoth in May. So I've been coming down here since 2005. Not every single year, there are some gaps. But this is my favorite month of the year, is Mammoth in May. So whoever lives here, you guys have chosen very well.
There's somebody over
You're
here.
right.
Yep.
What constituted a day? Like, what box did you have to check?
We almost put that in the film. So for me, and I've always just had I think like Jay-Z or maybe Tall Carl says like the miles minimum. So if it's a ski resort day, it's 5 runs. Which is not that much. And if it's a backcountry day, the goal is just to survive.
Is there somebody? Oh, yeah, right here.
Just out of curiosity, you may not know the number off the top of your head, but how many hours of footage did you have to sift through to make the final cut?
It was
A lot of really shitty footage.
I think it was 12 hours of interview, and then all the footage was, I don't know. I had it, the project, the editing project for this has every single day broken down with the footage on each day. I mean, I don't know. It was terabytes of footage. I mean, I don't even know. It was a lot. But yeah, and it was like stuff where, again, like before the film started, he didn't know to like save all the footage. So it was like, I was trying to pull hard drives from him and then trying to go back into like his Instagram story archives when you see those vertical videos with the burned in subtitles, because I was like, I want to know what he was saying that day. But like you can't save those, so I had to like screen record them, and they're at like 480p, super low res. So it was a lot, and all the photos and the journal, because that was at your one of your parents' places or your dad's place, and like getting all that stuff took a while.
The real magic was him saying no. I would be like, hey, could you change this and put this clip in and do that? He's like, no.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but I really want to thank you, first of all, for bringing your story to Mammoth and your healing story of grief, and thank you so much for including us in that process, and thank you to your, like I said, to your mom and brother for bringing the lights back on.
Well, thanks to you, and thanks to all of you. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.